Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update. And I actually debated for a long time about telling you some of this, but I know that a lot of you really care about me and Riley and have been very, very supportive of the channel. And my issue is I want to be positive. I want to make positive videos and, put that out there. But the reality is that sometimes bad things happen, and um, I just want to be real with you and share what's going on. um, it's There's a lot of things, so I'm gonna not take too long. I'm just going to go through quickly and let you know what's going on, because it could affect when and if I post again. um, anyway, let me just get into it. There's several things. A couple of weeks ago, we had some family here with us, and we went to lunch and came home, and there were two big dogs in our backyard. We do have some broken fence still from the hurricane, because I have not been able to fix it all. And I know you're tired of hearing about the hurricane, but it's a lot when you're two senior people and one of you is working all the time. And it just takes a long time. I mean, the devastation was so much. It just is going to take a long time. So anyway, two dogs were in my backyard. I did have chickens that were free ranging, and they killed two of our chickens. One we've had for 7 years, Lucy Goosey. And another one they didn't kill all the way, and unfortunately we had to put it out of its misery. Kenny did that, and we're both cupcakes. Neither one of us want to do that kind of stuff. But when that happened, we had had a mommy cat who came to our property as a kitten. She was very tiny. We didn't know how old she was, and we kept looking at her going, we need to take her and get her fixed soon. But we really didn't know how old she was. Well, before we could, she ended up pregnant. And we made a place for her on our screen porch. We don't have inside cats because I'm allergic to them, but we made a place for her. Her name was Callie, on our front porch. And I went camping with a friend for one night on April 15th. And Kenny let her out that morning thinking she would come back. And she didn't come back that night. And when she did come back the next day, she was skinny. She had her previous figure back. And so we knew that she'd hid the kittens. And we kind of knew where she hid them, that we have a little fountain thing in our front yard. And we followed her enough to know that she hid them under there, but we had not seen the kittens for several weeks. And we knew that one day she would just come out with her baby kittens and we'd get to see her with them. And we were looking forward to that. Well, during the massacre, which by the way, the dogs were still here when I got home, and I chased them off. Me and my friend chased them off. And they were actually trying to get to the baby Cochins, the one, the little one that was, we had to rehab. They were in an inner yard. Thankfully, they didn't get to them, but the dog was trying to get to them when I found the dogs. Anyway, it was a horrible ordeal, and Callie didn't come back for a couple of days. The mommy cat didn't come back for a couple of days. And this is a weird story. I had to go to CVS drive-through to get a prescription filled, and while I was in the drive-through, I kept hearing. First, I thought it was baby birds, and I kept hearing the baby birds, and I'm looking up and looking down around the car, and finally, I think it doesn't sound like baby birds, it sounds like kittens. So I was at the window and I said to the lady, I said, I think you guys have baby kittens around here. And she goes, I think they're in your car. It sounds like they're coming from your car. And I was like, oh no, because I still had never seen the kittens. I didn't know how many kittens she had, but it very seriously could have been kittens from our house. And I was like, oh, what if they're in the motor? I don't want them to get hurt. And I didn't know what to do. And she says, if you pull forward, we will help you find the kittens. So I very carefully drove forward, and I opened the hood, and I couldn't find them. Well, this young man came out. Turns out it was Kevin, the manager. Thank you, Kevin. He came out and he stripped off his shirt, and he said, "Ma'am," he says, "if there's kittens are under there, I'm going to find them." Well, he got under my car, and lo and behold, there's two gorgeous little kittens. One was bright yellow, one was gray. They were just the cutest things. And at this time, we knew they were probably 3 to 4 weeks old because of when she disappeared to have them. And so he took them inside because, of course, everybody in the store, they were talking about the kittens in the car and they wanted to see them. And there were a few people in there that said, "Hey, I'll take them home right now." Well, they didn't know how old they were. And he said, "Do you want to keep them?" And I said, "Yes," because I was still hoping that Callie, the mommy, was at home and I wanted to see her reunited with her kittens. So anyway, we brought the two kittens home. Now, mind you, I'm still allergic to cats, but we brought the kittens home, took them inside, bottle fed them, did everything we needed to do to take care of them. And then several days later, we realized Callie was not coming back. We assumed that the dogs killed her too, because she would have come back if there was any way for her to come back. So we nursed them to health and finally got them drinking formula and then finally eating wet food. And in the meantime, we were posting them on Facebook, because they were stinking adorable. And some really good friends of ours, a young man and preteen, preteen, and his sister really wanted them, and we were so happy that they were going to be kept together. So I will post a picture of them with the kittens. We met them halfway. They live a couple hours away. We met them halfway, and they have the kittens. And the yellow kitten is named Cheeto. I don't know the other name yet. If I can find out before I get this video edited, I'll tell you. So anyway, that was kind of a tragic situation. Now we only have two hens left after, because we lost some during the hurricane, and then we've had some massacres since then because of the fence situation and the fact that nobody around here keeps their dogs in their own yard. We're down to two full-size hens and the little cochins that we have. So that was the first thing. Okay, so the second thing, which in the list of all this stuff that I'm going to tell you, this is so minor. All of these are minor until we get to the last one. We went camping a couple weeks ago. I showed you we went to Laura S. Walker Campground, and while we were there, our air conditioner in the camper was not working. It was luckily a rainy weekend, and we were gone during the day, so it didn't matter. And then at night, it was cool enough. But our little 6,000 unit or 6,000 BTU window air conditioner quit working, and that's fine because we've had it in the trailer 2 years. This trailer is a rattle trap. When you're driving down the road, there's a lot of vibration and everything that goes on. And we realized when we put the window air conditioner in there, the reason we did it is because it's relatively a low cost AC situation, and we knew we could just replace it with another one. So when we got back the week of my birthday that Kenny took off from work, we were at Lowe's, and Lowe's had 6,000 BTU GE air conditioners on sale for $219. So we got it, and we did measurement. We checked the measurements, and it was like a quarter of an inch width-wise and 1 inch height-wise. And we thought, well, we can make this work. We'll have to do some framing and all that. And even though I built most of the trailer myself, I didn't feel like lifting an air conditioner. So I just told Kenny, you handle this. This can be your ball game. And I was doing other stuff while he was fixing that. So he fixed it. It works good. He did have to arrange a lot of stuff inside and outside, and we may or may not show you later. But one issue is that the filter clean out is on the wrong side, and I took a little video of it. I'll show you here. So one of the things we've had to work on this week is our air conditioner that was in here. It's a GE 6,000 BTU, just like this one. It finally died. We pretty much run it all the time, even when we're home, we keep the trailer plugged in because of moisture and all that kind of stuff. Plus, I'm in and out of it so much. But anyway, Lowe's had these on sale for like $220. And so this is something we could fix, unlike some other things we can't fix right now. But we went ahead and got that. But even though it's only an inch one direction and a quarter of an inch another direction, we've had to totally change the framing. And I was going to build my wooden cabinet here this week and replace it, because normally the coffee pot goes up there, but we've got everything moved out of the way now. However, this new air conditioner, we didn't notice till we got it home. The filter to clean used to be on the left. On the other air conditioner, it cleaned this way, so it wasn't a problem because there was nothing in the way. This air conditioner, we didn't know it until it was installed. The filter's right there. So I don't even know how I'm going to do it with just this basket, but I sure can't build a wooden shelf up here, wooden cabinet, because then we'll never be able to change the air conditioner filter. So that explains to you why I probably won't get to build the upper cabinet that I was going to build. I'm still going to build a lower cabinet, but this really, really, really it messes up my plans for the trailer. So that's disappointing, but in the scope of things, it's not that big deal, and at least we'll be cool. And I think what I'll do is I'll be sure and like take a vacuum and try to clean the filter through the vents as much as I can, so that I don't have to pull the filter out that often. And then whatever I do, whether I keep the wire basket or the cabinet, I'm going to have to make it where it's removable. So that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. Okay, and here comes a sad one that I was debating about telling you. If you have been with me for a while, you know that I have a 2016 Town and Country that I've completely turned into a camper. I built the floor, I tore out the seats, I cut out the seat belts. It is all camper mode. We even have the front seat turned around, and I love it. It is perfect. And in the past several months, we've been having an issue with it when I pulled the camper. Well, now it's turned into an issue all the time. And my husband has spent months trying to figure out what's wrong with it. And the week of my birthday, other than the day we took to spend my birthday to go get my senior pass, which if you haven't seen that, that's a really cool video, a really fun video. You should go watch it if you can. Every other day except that Wednesday, which was my birthday, he spent working on Joy, my van. He did all the things he knew he could do, knew he should do. He replaced the fuel injectors. That caused more problems, so we put the other ones back. And he finally, and we have different philosophy. Kenny and I have a different philosophy. He works slower than I do. I'm a little more impatient, and I just want to get things done. And I know what he was doing. He was trying to save us money because our money is tight, and he was trying to fix it as much as he could. Well, Friday afternoon, or was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Friday afternoon, he admitted defeat and said, we're going to have to take it to the dealership. So Saturday, we took it to a dealership in our town. And they charge you like $175 just to do a diagnostic, which he's been getting diagnostic tests all over town from every automotive parts store he's gone to, because he wanted to make sure, well, maybe this computer's not accurate, and he was getting the same readings on everything. So we knew we were going to have to pay the $175 to find out what they think is wrong with it. And we left it Saturday midday, and they called us just before closing on Saturday and said it was going to cost $5,100 to fix the van, and they couldn't guarantee that what they wanted to do was going to fix the van. So here's a side note. I only paid $7 plus $1,000 worth of fees for the van. It's not needing a new transmission. And a lot of the things they were saying that needed, he's already replaced. Like it said, they needed all new spark plugs. Well, he just put new spark plugs in 2 months ago. They were repeating a lot of the things that he's already done, and they couldn't really tell us if it was going to fix it. So I may not have a van. And it's okay. I've been telling you guys, even if you don't have a van, you can still get out there. I camped in my Palisade for 2 years. I still have my Palisade, thank the Lord. I've still got that. And I actually was thinking about setting it up for travel again to give you a tour, because I've never given a complete tour of it. And I also found out that it tows more than the minivan. And I bought a hitch. I spent my savings a couple of years ago and bought a hitch. It's still new in the box. Kenny hasn't put that on yet. And I don't know. We don't know if we want to pull the trailer with it or not. We certainly don't want to cause it any problems. We were trying to keep the mileage down on that, because when I bought that car, I thought I might have that car the rest of my life. Who knows? It's still got like 75,000 miles. It's a 2020, but we bought it in 2019. And so I don't know what's going to happen. And it's summer. It's too hot to travel right now, so I'm grounded anyway, so we have time to think about it. I am trying to pick up more quilting work, so if you have a quilt that needs to be quilted, give me a call. I do want to take a fall trip. I'm planning a fall road trip in September, and so I really want to get this all figured out by then. But anyway, I was very, very sad because Joy is my non-human baby, but she's my favorite. She's the favorite thing I own, and I put so much effort into her, building her, and I put so much effort into this trailer. And right now I have no way to pull the trailer, and I have no way to even go on a road trip and feel safe. So that's where we are. I was already kind of sad about that during birthday week, and that's where we were. Well, that's where we were. And what I'm going to tell you next is absolutely the worst thing. And part of the reason I was waiting is because I don't want to cry. We went ahead and took Riley to the vet since Kenny was off. We took him to the vet on Tuesday. And I'm vaccine shy. I've had a child that had a terrible thing happen from a vaccine. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to get political on here. Please keep your comments about that to yourself. I'm going to keep mine to myself. But I don't want to give any more vaccines and stuff or medications than necessary, especially to a small dog. So but there are things we have to get. Rabies vaccines are a thing. You have to have them. The Bordatello, I think, is a real thing. A lot of campgrounds and hotels and other places require you to have proof that the shots are up to date in order for your dog to go there. And Riley goes everywhere with me. We are together all the time, and we've been all together for the last 8 years. So, and he's never had a problem with them. Well, a couple of months ago, and he does have a flea allergy, so we've always had him on a flea treatment, and he was on one flea treatment for his whole life and never had a problem with it. And then our vet decided that they weren't going to carry that flea treatment anymore, and they talked us into getting Heart Guard Plus, which is also a tick treatment. And I camp a lot, there's ticks, and I thought, well, okay. And he's had 3 other treatments before and never had a problem. Well, we were there on a Tuesday. We took the flea treatment home with us, and I didn't allow Kenny or me to give it to him on Tuesday, because he just had a shot and the other medication, and I wanted to give him time in between, because I think if you give them too much at one time, it can cause a problem. So we waited until Friday evening, and then Kenny gave the heart guard to Riley. By Saturday afternoon, he couldn't walk. He um, he was having a hard time moving. He was stumbling like he was drunk. For a minute, we thought, well, maybe he's constipated or whatever. But it started looking more and more like neurological issues. And so I had activated charcoal capsules. I gave him those. We did all the things we knew to do, and we were watching him, and we're still not 100% sure what it was. But by the time Sunday morning came around, uh, we took it. I had to carry him outside, and Riley weighs 25 pounds. I had to carry him outside and put him in the grass, and he just laid in the wet grass. He wouldn't stand. He couldn't stand. Finally, he did go to the bathroom, but he didn't like walk around to find a place to go to the bathroom. He just took a like 6-inch step and did his business. And I had to sing at church that morning. If I didn't have to, I would have stayed home with him. But I had to sing a solo at church. We went to church. We ran right back from church, and I just had a really bad feeling that he was maybe not going to make it. And I ran from the car to the house. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard not to get emotional. Um I ran in the house, and when we left him that morning, he was unable to walk. He was laying on a blanket in the living room floor. And when we came in from church, he was at the back door. He was there greeting me, and his tail was wagging, and he was happy to see me. And I fell to my knees, and I was thanking the Lord. Oh, praise God. This is, he's okay. And we were rejoicing. I was so happy. I can't even tell you how happy I was. Well, during the day, he started getting worse again. And by Sunday night, he wasn't moving again. He couldn't walk. I'd put food in front of him, and he didn't want it, which is not like Riley. And then Monday, Kenny had to go back to work because his vacation was over. But and then also Kenny and I had physicals planned uh, for Monday morning at 9:30, which have been set for 6 months and very hard to get. And we had waited long enough that like none of our prescriptions were going to be renewed if we didn't go. So he and I went to our doctor's appointment, and I literally cried through the whole thing when they took my um, blood pressure. I said, "This isn't this isn't an accurate reading because I am stressed to the max." And I used the whole box of tissues in the nurse's office, and then in the doctor's office. I told Kenny, I said, they're going to bill us for tissues because I'm just pacing the floor and I'm crying because when we left Riley, he couldn't stand or walk or anything. And in the meantime, Kenny had called our vet back and said, hey, he told him what was going on. He goes, we need to come in. And they were like, well, we'll let you know. And the vet won't be until 10:30, and we'll let you know if we can fit you in today. Well, after we saw that Riley couldn't even stand or go to the bathroom or anything else like that, he called them back and he said, listen, we're taking him somewhere. Either we're coming to see you or we're going somewhere else, but you need to let us know right now. It's no longer an issue of if you can get us in, he's coming back. So once he told them that, they called us right back and said, we have an opening at 2:00. So we were at the doctor's office. We knew we couldn't get Riley to the vet before 2 anyway. I was just praying he made it that long. We were at the doctor's office. I was crying. We got some bad news at the doctor's office for one of us. I'm not going to tell you who, but let me just say concerning news. We will have to follow up with it, but it was a bad day. Let me just say it was a bad day. So anyway, we're putting all of our thoughts of everything on the back burner because all we care about right now is Riley. And when we got back from the doctor's office, Kenny had to go back to work, and then he was going to meet me at 2 o'clock at the doctor's office. And Riley was just kind of laying around. And of course, I'm trying to get him to take as much fluids as possible. And, he just wants to sit on my lap. And if that's what the dog wants to sit on my lap, he's going to sit on my lap. And I just try to keep him as comfortable. He also acts like he has pain, and we can't tell if it's the pain from his stomach, is it from his back. But of course, if he's having neurological issues, because I've had spinal meningitis before, if you're having neurological issues, your spine hurts really bad. So that could be what it is. But anyway, we get to the doctor's office at 2 o'clock. I've got to wrap this up. I'm running out of storage again. This is the story of my life. Anyway, they get him on the floor and they offer him a treat. They want to see how he's walking. And the dog, it's like taking your non-working car to the mechanic. He's walking around. I mean, he's walking in circles. He's stumbly. He's not his normal self, but he was walking. And that just made me feel so good. So they prescribed some medications for pain. I didn't give him everything because by now I've already made the dog sick by giving him something. So I'm very, very, very careful. And but I did ask them to uh, give him fluids. So they gave him fluids under his skin, and he had so much progress when we got home last night. He got better last night. This morning he walked to go to the bathroom. And he does well, but then all of a sudden he'll like not do well, and he'll act like, no, I don't want to eat, or no, I don't want to get up. And so it's hit or miss. And I think it's going to be hit or miss anytime you have a neurological situation happen. I'm still trying to get as much of this out of his system as possible. I'm giving him the activated charcoal, and I'm hydrating, extra hydrating, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm telling you this so that number one, that you know, but I'm also telling you because I believe in the power of prayer. And if you're watching this, I have almost 3,000 subscribers, and only 17% of the people who watch me subscribe. And that means there's a whole lot of people watching this. And if you believe in prayer, please pray for Riley that he will heal completely. And please understand, if you're a regular viewer, that I may not be on here as often. My numbers are plummeting because I post a couple of times a week, and I haven't posted this past week because I didn't want to cry in front of you, and because my time is with Riley. So, but it is what it is. Riley has to come first, and everything else is going to take the back seat. But please say a prayer for Riley that he heals. Please pray for me and Kenny because he's our baby, and we love him more than anything. And that's what's going on. There are good things happening around here. My peach tree is ripe. I'll show you pictures of that. We had baby bunnies the other day, and they seem to be doing good. And I'll throw a little snippets in there if I can. But if I'm not back here as often as I was, just know I am doing the most important thing right now, which is taking care of Riley. And like I said, please pray for him if you pray. And thank you for being here. You could help me out by watching some of my videos. That would really help. And like and subscribe if you haven't. And just thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. And like I said, I didn't want to be a bummer, but I just want to let you know what's going on for lots of reasons. So I hope you have a great day, and thank you for listening to me rattle along. Take care.
Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Here's my baby boy. He's just resting.
Mwah.
I love you. He's a good boy.
We came out to see the bunnies, feed the bunnies today, and we have 4 babies. That's the mommy. You see all the hair she pulled. So she had 2 sisters in here with her, and they're the ones that got moved out. These are the 2 sisters that are not the mommies, so they had to be moved away. Lay down, baby. No. Gentle. Gentle.